We are the Pleiadians, and we decided to take over and use this opportunity to be here with you.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for holding this sacred yet playful space for us to enter. We are aware that the three of you and other groups that you are affiliated to by extensions hold many galactic interests. And this is indeed one of the connections there that is often made when galactic interests are present. What you would call our common ambassadors and messengers, welcoming civilizations into their galactic nature. And as you know, the day is getting nearer and nearer to the realization of humankind, of their true nature and their place within a galactic reality rather than a more limited reality of Earth or humans being the center of all existence.
Can you talk us a little bit about the races that exist in Pleiades?
Yes. In the Pleiades, we will also mention that different races and species have inhabited different planets and star structures over the eons, over the ages. However, there are several species that do reside and have resided in the Pleiades. One of them is indeed humanoid. There are more than one humanoid, but one of them that often makes contact with humans of your era is a specific humanoid type. They carry blue pigmentation. They are slightly shorter than humans, however, not by much. Let us see what else we can tell you about them. They are very balanced in their feminine, masculine dimensionality, and have indeed occupied a physical body that have gone through similar transformations as the human race is going through at this time. What else can we tell you about this race? Of course, they are coming with much love for humanity. Humanity is not a child to them, but more like a small brother. The word brotherhood may be more accurate than a brother. And we will say the gender of brotherhood is chosen since humanity is farther on the masculinity spectrum comparing to this Pleiadian race. And therefore, from their perspective, humanity is more like a younger brother.
What's the significance of this race to work with humans at this time?
There are several reasons for the high compatibility, as the attraction they are experiencing towards humanity is natural. One of them, as we said, is the transformation, the transition period that humanity is experiencing at this point is quite similar what their race has gone through as they transitioned into a higher frequency, more heart-based existence. this is indeed a similar process that humanity is going through right now. The similarity in the process and the frequency draws them to humanity, and not only draws them because of their ability to help and sustain the growth and transition of humanity, but in a quantum way also reinforces their own growth and transcendence of their own physical issues.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, they are highly involved with Earth currently and are working with many individuals behind the scenes, connecting them to the proper pathways of light for enlightenment, and holding proper space for ease of communication, of sending back and forth of information. Again, we're talking here what you would term telepathy, since they are working mostly behind the scenes.
Anything. Be happy
Yes.
to
Our
take anything.
Yes, our message is one that you have heard many times before. However, it is worth repeating again and again and again. You are not alone. We are with you. Many of you are attempting to make contact and working at enforcing this contact. And because the nature of this work, of the work from the other side, is the majority of the work. Therefore, most of you, the biggest majority, we would say 90% or more of you that are engaging in this current contact are not quite aware of the majority of the contact and the work being made behind the scenes. So we will say that your patience, your trust, your willingness to explore without having concrete and certain answers, and the knowing that yes, we are there, we and many, many others are there with you at every moment, celebrating with you every move, every step towards contact. We would like you to know that, and as we mentioned, this is a message worth repeating again and again.
Thank you.
On that note, before we finish, I'd like to ask one more thing, if that's okay.
Please. In
the opening speech, you talked about contact and as humans, us getting closer to reach that threshold, so to speak. Can we expect to have open contact in our lifetimes?
Yes, my dear. It is coming and it is soon. There are steps, so it is not happening in one big step, but there are several steps of progress towards open contact. We will say there is one coming within a year to a year and a half, and there are several coming definitely in your lifetime, and by 2030, which is in the scheme of things is quite soon and quite rapid, you will have a giant step towards open contact as you have dreamt of.
I'd like to ask one more thing.
Go ahead.
About open contact. Can you tell us about race or races that will make open contact with us in the beginning?
We will say that the main races that are working towards open contact are what you would call the Greys, which also have many different species and races and galactic heritage. However, there are several races of the Greys that are close to making open contact. This is also true on insectoid races that are less physical, however, are very present. And as we mentioned, the Pleiadians, one of the main strands within the Pleiadians are what we have termed the blue species. And there are others. So there are many species. Different individuals will encounter different beings based on their level of comfort, readiness, connection, personal connection, and there are many other variables. And many people will have the opportunity to interact with several other races. We would even say many races, since their openness will allow this to take place. We will say that there are other factors, important factors, that are considered when contact, especially open contact, is being made. And it is not about the worth or even often the readiness of the individual, but about their space within the society. How safe would this contact would be advantageous or not in their life currently. It's not only about their personal excitement and satisfaction. There are other considerations to be have that are all being considered when any type of contact is being made.
Thank you. This is very exciting to hear.
We are just as excited as you are and are looking forward to coming through again and continuing this most important and fun conversation.